and Lake Fire virtual community meeting. The event will begin shortly. If it is easier for you to listen in to the call in either Spanish or Korean, please note the numbers on your screen. Also, if you are in an area where the transmission may not be clear, you can also listen to an English audio feed also on the number on the screen. If you have any questions that you would like to offer at any point during the presentation, these are general questions for our panelists that we can answer in a general sense. Please use the email addresses that you see on the screen. You can also offer questions through the comment feature on any of the social media platforms that you may be on. Any questions that you may have that are particular to your personal property or your personal situation, again, please use the email addresses that you see on the screen, but we will not be addressing personal situations in the course of this evening's community meeting. Once again, if you are joining us at this point, welcome to the Bobcat Fire and Lake Fire virtual community meeting. We will begin shortly. If it is easier for you to listen for an audio feed in Spanish or in Korean, or if your audio feed is less than clear, you can also phone in for English audio at the numbers that you see on your screen. Questions for our panelists can be emailed at the addresses that you see on your screen or through the comment feature on any social media platform that you may be watching this evening. All right, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Stephen Frazier. I'm with Community and Government Relations with LA County Public Works. This is our Bobcat Fire and Lake Fire virtual community meeting, specializing in debris removal and rebuilding issues, but also addressing some of the other avenues for assistance that we have and the state of California has for wildfire affected families. Before we begin this evening, I would like to introduce Charles Boswick, Assistant Field Deputy for Supervisor Catherine Barger.
Hi, this is Chuck Bostwick. As Mr. Frazier said, I work for Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger, who represents northern Los Angeles County, including the communities of Juniper Hills, Lake Hughes, Pine Canyon, Valle Aramo, Parablossom, etc. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope there's some good information given out. We'll be having representatives from the state and from the county. And I also want to let everyone who's participating know that if you have questions that you don't know who the right place to call, you can always call the Supervisor Barger's Antelope Valley office. We're at 661-726-3600. That's 661-726-3600. And we'll get your answer sent to the right agency and get it answered for you. So thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Chuck. This evening, before we go into the presentations, I also want to point out that the debris removal teams will be in the Juniper Hills and Lake Hughes areas this weekend for in-person meetings to help with issues with paperwork, answer questions, whatever the case might be. Appointments are appreciated and again can be requested through the email addresses of bobcatfire@pw.lacounty.gov or lakefire@pw.lacounty.gov. Their appointments are requested but not required. These community outreach meetings will be at the Juniper Hills Juniper Bowl on Friday and Saturday this weekend from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and at the Lakes Community Center on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, one of the specialists dealing with debris removal is Gladys Ritchie from the Environmental Programs Division of Los Angeles County Public Works. Gladys?
Works, and I will be presenting on the Bobcat and Lake Fire Debris Removal Program. The Consolidated Debris Removal Program consists of 2 phases of debris removal. Phase 1 pertains to inspections and removal of hazardous materials. The Los Angeles County Fire Department and DTSC have completed assessing and removing the household hazardous waste from properties affected by the Bobcat and Lake Fire. We are now in Phase 2, which pertains to fire debris and hazard tree removal operations. During this phase, property owners need to decide how their structural fire debris and hazard trees will be removed from their property. This is in order to comply with the Bobcat Fire and Lake Fire Emergency Ordinance. During Phase 2, property owners have 2 options. The first and recommended option is the government-sponsored debris removal program. The county has partnered with the state's Office of Emergency Services to provide debris removal on private property at no direct cost to the property owners. For the second option, the county offers the local debris removal program to property owners that elect to remove debris from their property on their own or through a hired contractor. Work under this option needs to follow specific requirements and guidelines established by the county. Property owners require approval from the county before they begin any work on the property. To be eligible to participate in the government-sponsored program, the property must have an eligible structure or dwelling over 120 square feet, such as a residential home, manufactured housing unit, a garage, shed, or other outbuilding. Please note that destroyed structures do not need to be permitted to be eligible for the program. The most important thing for this program is to clear those structures so that property owners can start rebuilding their homes. We are not looking to take any enforcement action on structures that are no longer there. And our Building and Safety Division is available to help you with the permit process after. Other eligible items that are included in this program are hazard trees. I would also like to add that insurance is not a requirement to participate in our program. This program is designed to assist property owners affected by the fires regardless of your insurance status. This program is a great resource to those who do not have insurance or are underinsured. Although safe sifting with proper protective gear is allowed, property owners shouldn't begin clearing or moving debris in the burned area. We understand each property is unique and needs are different for everyone. However, please allow the state teams to take care of the debris removal to remain eligible for the program. If there has been some removal or movement of debris already on the property, please note it on your application with a justification to avoid any further movement. Now, to participate in the program, property owners need to submit a signed right of entry application to allow the county, state, and state crews to enter the property to conduct debris removal. For your convenience, the first page of the application is a checklist that outlines the required documents to be submitted with the application. Typical documents we request are copies of a government-issued ID, legal supporting documents, an insurance declaration page if the property owner has insurance. The new extended deadline to apply to our program is now February 15th, 2021. There are 4 steps to this program. Once the property owner submits a right of entry application, the state will assess the property to determine if it is eligible to participate. Then the state will attempt to contact you 24 to 48 hours prior to debris removal operations starting. Property owners may be present during removal as long as the state and CDC guidelines are followed for COVID-19. The state will set up an exclusion zone where property owners may stand at a safe distance during this time. Property owners can consult with the state regarding items that need to be removed, moved, or would like to be kept. Once the debris is cleared from the property owner will receive a final sign-off indicating the debris removal is complete and the cleanup goals have been met. The owner may then contact their local building and safety office to begin the rebuilding process. We are currently accepting applications and are encouraging property owners to submit applications as soon as possible, as the state has already begun the assessments on the property. Now, here's a photo of previous work under the government-sponsored program for a property that was affected in the 2018 Woolsey fire. The picture on the right shows the property cleared with erosion control measures in place, and it's ready for rebuild. We recommend this option because property owners are walked through the process by professionals and the work is performed in an expeditious manner to ensure the quickest recovery possible so that property owners can begin rebuilding their homes. Now, option 2 is the local fire debris removal program. Under this program, the debris removal is performed by the property owner or hired contractor at the homeowner's expense and must meet or exceed the program standards set by the local, state, and federal agencies. Property owners who elect this option are strongly encouraged to review all of the local debris removal program requirements thoroughly before planning or pursuing their own debris removal project. There are 2 types of applications available under this program. This is to accommodate the extent of damages on the property. The first application is the local program application for destroyed residential and/or accessory structures over 120 square feet, and permits would still be required before beginning debris removal work. The second application is the partially burned or damaged structures application for structures with minimal damage. These applications apply to both unpermitted and permitted structures. Also, if property owners have begun their own debris removal work, an application and permit are still required. We encourage property owners to contact our office for guidance to prevent any delays in rebuilding. If you choose this program, you will need to present your approved work plan and demolition permit to the landfill operator to be able to dispose of the debris at the landfill. The new extended deadline for submitting the local program applications is February 28, 2021. Our team is available to assist you in determining the correct application for your property and walk you through the process. Now, the local program process is more extensive than the government-sponsored program, and this is to ensure debris removal work is performed in an environmentally safe manner and to protect public health and safety as a community. Typically, there are 6 steps to this program, including obtaining an approval for your work plan, obtaining all applicable permits, such as demolition permits, before work can begin. The applicant must also obtain soil clearance from public health. And if the homeowner wishes to reuse existing foundation, an engineering report must be prepared by a licensed engineer and must be submitted and approved by the county building official. Property owners will not be allowed to rebuild on their property until the process is complete and approved by the county. Property owners must select option 1 or 2 to proceed with debris removal on their property. If a property owner is ineligible to participate in the government-sponsored program or decides not to participate, all requirements of the local program must still be met before rebuilding. There are some exceptions, such as structures smaller than 120 square feet and non-structural debris, such as burnt fences or vegetation. Applications can be obtained through our county website at lacounty.gov/recovery, or can be requested through our debris removal hotline at 626-979-5370. Also, we are coordinating one-on-one appointments through our debris removal hotline. Property owners have various ways to submit an application, including drop-off if absolutely necessary, but must be arranged ahead of time. The best way to submit the applications is through our email addresses. The email address for the Bobcat Fire is bobcatfire@pw.lacounty.gov. And the email for the Lake Fire is lakefire@pw.lacounty.gov. We also have upcoming in-person debris removal workshops on Friday, February 12th and Saturday, February 13th at the Juniper Hills Community Association, and on Sunday, February 14th at the Lakes Community Center. The details are up on the screen for you to note down. Appointments can be made through our debris removal hotline, and walk-ins are also welcome. And of course, COVID-19 protocols will be in place to protect the public and the county employees that will be there to assist you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gladys. And once again, for our community listeners, I want to repeat the wildfire hotline number that Gladys gave you, 626-979-5370. This is a great resource for anyone who has questions or is encountering problems with their applications. Please call the hotline to get the answers you need in a timely manner. Again, for those who are watching, the questions can be submitted during the course of the presentations at the email addresses bobcatfire@pw.lacounty.gov or lakefire@pw.lacounty.gov, or through the comments section of the social media platform that you may be watching on. To continue with our state resources dealing with debris removal, I'd like to introduce Dina Wilson from the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services. Dina?
Good evening. Thank you, Stephen, for having us. We're happy to be here to support this community. I just want to give a quick update on the debris removal operations for the Bobcat and the Lake Fires. We actually did start doing some debris removal in the Bobcat area yesterday. We have 2 crews that are there, and we've already cleared our first property, so we're very excited to see that moving along. Additional crews are continuing to do site assessments and other phases of debris removal. So you'll start to see more of our debris trucks and our crews in the area. So just want to give everyone a heads up. Additionally, all of our crews will be using these placards to identify themselves. So if the neighborhood needs to see where we're at, you will be able to see these. They're green signs that basically say South Branch, which is the branch they're working on for the overarching debris removal. So we are looking forward to continuing to assist the survivors. We will continue to ramp up those crews as the more available properties come online. And I'm happy to take any questions as we continue on. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Dina. We were reminded that some viewers would prefer to hear the audio of the call in Spanish or potentially in Korean, or if the audio feed may be better over telephone for English, if we can get those numbers up. Yes, once again, if you prefer to listen in Spanish or Korean or on an English language telephone line that may provide you clearer audio, please dial in on the numbers on your screen. Once again, during the course of the meeting, questions can be delivered to the email addresses and to the comment section on your social media. All of the questions are being taken in and will be directed to our panelists at the end of the presentations. So thank you. We welcome your questions. They are coming in, and we will be doing the question and answer at the end of the presentations. For a different aspect of California assistance to wildfire victims, I'd like to introduce Robert Larson from Cal OES, dealing with public assistance for wildfire victims. Robert?
Yes, thank you, Stephen. So I'm Robert Larson. I'm with Recovery Public Assistance, Cal OES. So what we do is we help support the county and any local jurisdictions there within the fire area to help them recover from the losses from this event. So, with this event, we obviously have this debris program that we're doing to help assist with cleaning up the properties. And with what we do is we help to reimburse the county for their costs that they may have in doing so. We also have our state, which Cal Recycle, one of our state agencies, that's the ones that will be doing the work. And we also work to help, with the contractors that are working under Cal Recycle to help, pay those bills and get them reimbursed too. There is a cost share that is involved that the state participates in. So we do cost share. It's a 75% cost share that we help the counties and the local jurisdictions, help them to recover. So it's a good program that, whenever there's a major event like such as this, if it isn't something that the federal government or FEMA can participate in, if it's not, as big as some of the other fires that we may have had, then us as the state, we have our own program where we can come in and step in and still give assistance. So that's what I do. I help to work with the local governments to help them get their claim in so that we can get them reimbursed.
Thank you, Robert. Is there an avenue that the public might reach out to you if they have an issue, or should they direct that through the county email addresses to be forwarded to you? Yeah,
any questions? I mean, we normally don't deal with the public per se. It's more that we're dealing with the county jurisdiction, maybe a city, maybe Los Angeles City. If there's let's say there was a water district within the area that maybe they lost their facility, we can work with them on whatever their losses may be to help them get reimbursed for their losses.
Excellent, thank you. To deal with the more individual impact and assistance available to individuals, I'd like to welcome Nicole Benson from the Office of Emergency Services. Nicole?
Hi, my name is Nicole Benson, and as mentioned, I work with Cal OES Individual Assistance, and I'm going to speak briefly on some of the types of assistance that's available to both households and businesses that may have been impacted. So first of all, while the FEMA registration deadline has closed, I do want to just bring up some of the things to keep in mind for those who have registered. So many of you will have received letters from FEMA, and while some of these letters may be confusing, as many of them say, "Hey, you don't qualify for FEMA at this time." If you continue to read that letter, it provides additional information on what you can provide to be able to become eligible. So, for example, when you first register, there may be missing documentation that you still need to provide to FEMA to become eligible. And so the other thing that I wanted to bring up is that FEMA will often reach out to you to try to get additional information on your application, to inform you about assistance that is available. And so what I do strongly encourage is to make sure that FEMA has your most up-to-date contact information. We know that there's a lot of changes going on immediately after a disaster, so this is just something that I would very much encourage. Now, on the state side, the one program that we do have available is the State Supplemental Grant Program. And this comes in when a household has received the maximum amount of of financial assistance from FEMA. So the state can come in and provide up to an additional $10,000. So you might be getting contacted by the California Department of Social Services to be able to walk you through that additional assistance. There is no additional application. There is nothing additional that you need to do on your side to receive assistance from the state supplemental grant program. But it is something that is available. And finally, I did want to mention the U.S. Small Business Administration Economic Injury Disaster Loan the program. So again, while the application period for physical damage assistance has closed for SBA, businesses that have suffered economic losses due to the disaster can still apply for loan assistance through SBA. That deadline is July 16th. So if this is something that you think that you need, I do encourage you to apply either through the SBA website at disasterloanassistance.sba.gov, or you can call the SBA customer assistance hotline at 800-659-2955. So I just wanted to let the community know about these types of assistance as you move forward within your recovery process. And so from the Cal OES individual assistance side, similar to public assistance, one thing that we do is basically to help the community navigate through these assistance as these assistance programs available. And so you can call the Cal OES individual assistance inquiry line at 916-845-8149, and somebody from the individual assistance team will be able to reach back out to you and help you with whatever questions that you have. But I'll definitely continue to stay on the line here if there's additional questions.
Thank you, Nicole. That's very helpful. Once again, the Cal OES individual assistance line that Nicole just mentioned is 916-845-8149. For those watching, again, if you have questions that you would like to direct to any of our panelists, they can be offered through the email addresses for the Bobcat fire and the Lake fire. You'll see those email addresses in yellow on your screen. And if you would prefer to listen in either Spanish, Korean, or on an English language audio feed by telephone, please dial the numbers that you see on your screen. Also, for those of you watching on social media platforms, again, welcome. And any questions you may want to direct to our panelists can be offered as well through the comment section on your social media platform. After the debris removal section of fire recovery, the next step is the rebuilding process. And I would like to introduce Hugo Acevedo from Los Angeles County Public Works Building and Safety Division regarding the rebuilding process. Hugo?
Good afternoon. Correct. My name is Hugo Acevedo. I'm the Assistant Office Manager for LA County Building and Safety, the Antelope Valley Office. I'm going to be really discussing such options as a rebuilding process. And throughout the rebuilding process, I'm going to talk about a couple of websites that are very helpful. If you can go on to the next slide. Thank you. Thank you. So one of the websites that helps you and guide you through the rebuilding process is called Public Works Road to Rebuilding website. Has a lot of good information. We also have the Eventbrite workshops that has one-on-one virtual appointments with individual departments. And we will give you at the very end site attribute sheets to help you guide you along the rebuilding process as well. Thank you. Next. We started off with the Road to Rebuild website. It has a lot of good information. You can access it through dpw.lacounty.gov/rebuild. And on that website, you're going to see basically Lake and Bobcat fire information, and it contains 6 steps. It starts off with the cleaning debris, which a lot of people have been informed. It goes on with the financing. It also gives you a step-by-step on preparing plans, and then follows up with obtaining the permits, followed by construction and inspections, and also finally moving in. And great information. As you go to each one of these steps, it'll guide you and tell you more detailed information on how to obtain your permit.
It appears we may have had an audio problem with Hugo's presentation. We'll give him a moment to come back shortly. Thank you for your patience.
About that. Can you guys hear me?
Hugo, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
I apologize. Okay, continuing on. So as I was saying, we have 6 steps to help you move back into your home. And on that website, we also have the latest announcements on there regarding Edison information. For a lot of the people who have questions regarding Edison, definitely go on that website. It'll give you a number and who to contact. Also, it'll give you some information on resources, and as far as free laptops from your local library to access some of these workshops we have here. Thank you. We can go to the next slide. We also have what's called the online submittal process. It's called EPIC-LA, and it's epicla.lacounty.gov/self-service/numerical numbers/home. And this is basically the only thing we're having right now is online submittals to help you in the rebuilding process. And I recommend you to register, submit your plans online, and that's the way you can keep track of the project. Remember, your design professional will let you know that he'll do everything for you, but I recommend that you also register so you yourself can keep track of the project. And just a reminder, we'd like to tell everyone that you do have to comply with the latest codes for your plans. The 2020 County of Los Angeles Building Code, the 2020 County of Los Angeles Residential Code as well. Thank you. We also have this Eventbrite workshops, and these are very helpful workshops to let you know and help guide the homeowner, developer, and contractors on the permitting process. Some of the participating departments are Public Works, Building and Safety. There's also Regional Planning, Public Health, and Fire departments. And each of us will give you guidelines as to what you need to submit the plans and what to expect during the plan check process. Next slide. These Eventbrite workshops are located on your www.eventbrite.com. And when you go on there, please type in Lake and Bobcat Fire. That way you'll directly straight to the website. They're available up to April 27, 2021. We have 3 workshops. They're every Tuesday for 1-hour time slots, and they begin at 9 a.m. in the morning up to 12. Thank you. Also, after the workshops, you'll get these site attribute sheets. On these site attribute sheets, they're there to basically assist you in the permitting process. It gives you a lot of great information for your home design. It also gives you general site information. And some of the information you'll find on there will be coming from different agencies. They're coming from Public Works, which will include GMET information, environmental programs information, as well as building and safety information. You'll also get information regarding Regional Planning Department, Palmdale Water District, if you belong to the Palmdale Water District, and information regarding Department of Public Health for both the well and the septic tank. You'll also get fire department information on that sheet, whether the size of your tank, if you have access. But again, this is to help you prepare for the permitting process and to help you gain some knowledge of what to expect again when you submit the plans and what agencies are going to be looking for. Next slide. These are all the resources. These are all great resources you're going to be getting from us. I mean, like I said, you start off with the Road to Rebuild website, dpw.lacounty.gov/rebuild. register on Epicala for all your online submittals. And of course, please attend our Eventbrite workshops. They're great information out there to help you. And you can ask all the departments any questions you want regarding their permitting process. I know it's a very long process, but we're here to help you in any way we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugo. Once again, the email addresses that you see on your screen can help you get the information that you need for any part of the debris removal and rebuilding process. The debris removal hotline, once again, is 626-979-5370. For the rebuilding process, that number is 626-632-0074. And with the conclusion of our presentations, we have some questions that have come in through the email addresses and from social media that we will ask our panelists to address. Let's see, first question is, how can I look after personal items on my property?
Hi, Stephen. I'll go ahead and take that question. So if you have personal items that you want to look for on your property that may have been in the fire, you are welcome to do so, obviously. We want to ensure that you are doing it in a safe manner and have the right protective personal protective equipment on so that you do not potentially put yourself in any sort of hazardous situation, as fire debris does contain ash and hazardous material. If you are not able to locate those personal items, you can put that information on your ROE or let the contractor know when they give you a call to do debris removal, and we are happy to take a look to see if we can find those personal items for you as we are doing the debris cleanup. The debris crews take it as a personal honor for them to be able to return personal items to the homeowner, so we do actually look for items. And if we do locate items that have not been written down or provided to us, we still will return them to the homeowner as soon as we're able to. Usually contact them shortly thereafter.
Okay, another similar question that came in is the fire took an impact on my classic vehicle that is on the lot, but I want to see if I can salvage it. Will that be removed, or how would that be handled?
We'd have to take a look at the individual circumstances. Technically, automobiles that have been destroyed by the fire are considered hazardous to the property, so generally we would remove those, but that's something that we can look at individually with the homeowner to determine what the next best course of action is.
All right, thank you. Let's see. There's a question about, I see that work has begun in my neighborhood. My neighbor's yard has started to have some activity. When will we know when work is completed and certification for rebuilding? When is the timeline for that?
It will depend on what is on the property that needs to be removed. So there are quite a few stages to the debris removal process. Essentially, those are site assessments, asbestos assessment and abatement, debris removal, soil sampling to ensure that we have removed all of the hazardous ash and debris from the property, erosion control if it's necessary, and then a final sign-off which we will return to the county. Depending on what each of those steps involves will determine the length of time it will take in order to return the property to the homeowner, and then back to the county and then to the homeowner to begin the rebuilding process. It really does depend on the amount of debris that's on the property.
All right, thank you. Question that came in through social media. How will I know if my trees need to be removed?
So you may not know. If a homeowner has a question about whether or not they have hazardous trees on their properties, we suggest that they fill out a right of entry form and submit it to the county, and the state will send out an assessment team to determine if they have hazardous trees that would fall in a public right of way. If they do so, we can certainly work to remove those. If they don't, then we will let them know that their trees do not qualify for the program.
All right. Next question. I have a property with multiple structures and property damage. Once I submit an ROE, how will I find out what part of the property will be cleaned up and what would be removed?
So essentially, all fire debris would be removed from the property once you have a qualifying structure. If there is something that you would like to keep, as long as we can let you keep it, we may allow it to do so. But generally, everything is removed that has been fire damage. There are a few exceptions to that rule, but it really depends on what it is.
All right. A question that we had via email from a lake fire area resident. My house and 2 barns burned down. I had insurance for the residents, but not for the outbuildings. Does debris removal take place for all of the structures? And if I decide not to rebuild, do I have to pay for the debris removal?
So that will largely depend on what is in your insurance policy. For the state program, we would remove all fire debris, as I mentioned in the previous question. The state only will collect from the homeowner, or excuse me, the county will collect the insurance proceeds that may be left over that the homeowner did not use. The program is designed so there is no direct cost to the homeowner, so it really will depend on what is in the homeowner's insurance policy. But in that particular instance, we would still remove the fire debris from the 2 barns.
Okay, and then there's a question about red tagging. Perhaps this might be Hugo. We have an uninhabitable red tagged manufactured home. It's suggested that the home may be demolished. Is there a way that we can find out what a final decision would be on the red tag?
We necessarily don't make the decision whether you keep it or not. We typically leave it up to your professional engineer to go out there and take a look at the building and decide whether it's salvageable or not. We don't make that decision. We just look at it and make sure that it is unsafe, and if it is, we red tag it.
Stephen, if I could add additionally to that, if that homeowner was actually to enroll in the state program and they had multiple walls standing, we would send out a team to do an assessment and determine whether or not it could be eligible for the state program.
All right, and there was a question asking to clarify, and I know, Dina, you alluded to this. How does homeowners insurance work with the state no direct cost debris removal program?
The state program is designed so that there's no direct state cost. So what I mean by that is, for an example, if you have a homeowner's insurance policy that has $15,000 available for debris removal should you lose your home in a fire, the state would only collect up to $15,000 or the amount of which the homeowner did not use for other eligible activities. For example, if the homeowner used $5,000 of that $15,000 for debris removal of elements that were not part of the state program, then the state would only end up collecting $10,000 from that homeowner. If the homeowner is not insured or is underinsured on a property, the state would collect nothing because there's nothing there to collect. So to reiterate, it's no direct cost to the homeowner.
Okay, thank you. This question might be Nicole. I submitted an application to FEMA, but was told that the lake fire victims do not qualify. The Bobcat fire area was declared a FEMA incident, but the lake fire was not. Is this divided status still true? SBA told me I could not apply for them if I don't qualify for FEMA. Are you able to address that?
Yes, I am. Unfortunately, FEMA only declared the Bobcat fire for their assistance, and because the SBA declaration is directly linked with FEMA, unfortunately for the lake fire survivors, neither federal assistance is available. This is something that we had worked on at the beginning of the event, but unfortunately FEMA and SBA assistance is only available for the Bobcat fire.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. The question for Hugo. The one property owner has 3 separate properties. Does that mean setting up 3 separate Epic LA accounts?
No. You only need one Epic LA account, but you do need to submit for those 3 different parcels. So you'll have one account and 3 different submittals for 3 different permits for the 3 parcels.
All right. We're nearing the end of our questions. If you think of something that you would still like to ask, particularly that may pertain to your personal property, don't hesitate to use the email addresses that you see on your screen. There will still be staff responding to those emails even after the program is ended. Once again, I'd like to reiterate a couple of phone numbers if you would like to make a note of having a pencil and paper. I'll reiterate some phone numbers that are helpful for the process. Once again, the debris removal hotline that you see on your screen is 626-979-5370. For building and safety, the rebuilding process, 626-632-0074. For the California Office of Emergency Services individual assistance, that's 916-845-8149. And Supervisor Catherine Barger's office in the Antelope Valley is 661-726-3200. See, another question that has come in with no insurance, you can still enroll in the state program?
Yes, that is correct. If you have no insurance on your property, you can still enroll in the program, and there will be no direct cost to you.
Very good. Viewers in the Bobcat and Lake Fire area, please, again, if you have questions, that's why the hotline is in place. That's why the emails are there, and the in-person meetings in Juniper Hills on Friday and Saturday, and at the Lakes Community Center on Sunday to get that direct assistance to answer your questions.
I would like to, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I don't think we got the accurate phone number for our local AV field office. I just wanted to correct that.
I'd like to introduce Donna Tremere from Supervisor Barger's office.
Sorry about that, but I had muted and muted audio and video, and I don't think you had our phone number correct. I want to correct that.
Okay, please give the...
Yep, 661-726-3600.
3600, correct. And thank you, Donna, and thank you, Chuck. And Supervisor Barger has been very in tune with these recovery efforts, and we certainly appreciate her active support in this rebuilding effort for the residents of both the Lake and Bobcat fire areas. Let's see, one last question. We understand that debris removal will begin tomorrow or the next day. If the house is not demolished yet, are items inside going to be removed by the crew before work begins? We've honored the red tag and have stayed out, but there may be things that could be recovered.
Yes, we can. If there's items that they would like to be, that have, excuse me, let me try that again. There are items that the homeowner would like to be removed from the property, depending on what those items are. If they're personal items, the crew can absolutely go through and try to remove those. If there's something more specific, like a refrigerator or something like that, that's an entirely different story. But if there's personal items, they can certainly contact the crew, or you can put them in touch with myself, Stephen, and we can make sure that we address their specific questions and needs to make sure that we try to return as many personal items as possible.
All right, thank you. As we near the end of our presentation, I would like to point out that the Presentation will be archived on all of the social media platforms if you would like to watch again, or perhaps go through for more detail in the presentations, or for numbers that have been presented, or if you came in late to see the beginning of the presentation. All of these will be archived on YouTube and on Twitter and Instagram, so that you'll be able to follow along on the meeting and get this information again. Once again, the hotline for the debris removal program, 626-979-5370. And for the building and safety, that's the rebuilding process, 626-632-0074. And once again, for other assistance from Supervisor Catherine Barger's office, 661-726-3600. All right, seeing no additional questions, I want to again thank all of our presenters from Los Angeles County and also from the state of California. You've been tremendously helpful in providing information to the Bobcat fire and the Lake Fire areas. And for all of our viewers, again, with any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with the county debris removal or the building permit process so that we may assist you in your rebuilding process. Once again, the community meetings or the community direct outreach will be Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Juniper Hills Community Center at the Juniper Bowl, and on Sunday from 10 to 3 at the Lakes Community Center. You'll see the addresses, times, and dates on your screen for those direct debris removal workshops. The deadlines for debris removal, again, for the option one, that's the government-sponsored, no direct cost, private property debris removal, that deadline is on Monday, February 15th. For the county's local debris removal program, that deadline is February 28th. So please don't delay in getting your applications in. And once again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact the team. Once again, thank you all very much to Charles Boswick and Donna Tremere from Supervisor Barger's office, to Gladys Ritchie and Hugo Acevedo from the Los Angeles County Public Works, and to Dina Wilson, Robert Larson, and Nicole Benson from the state of California. We really appreciated your presentations tonight. I'm Stephen Frazier for Los Angeles County. Thank you and good night.